Hey guys, this is Bella with Mostly Peaceful Latinas, bringing you another candidate highlight for this series that we are doing to get you guys to go out and vote these primary elections. We always tell you guys, if you complain about politics, chances are you're probably not paying attention during primary elections where it most counts. Miami-Dade currently, we're sitting on, it's Friday. We've got 2 days of early voting left. Last day to voting day will be August 20th, Tuesday. It is imperative that you guys get out there. We're currently sitting at an abysmal 11% voter turnout. Don't be mad when you don't get the results that you have. We're going to go ahead and bring on Sheriff candidate Ruamen De La Rua. For those of you that do not know, Miami-Dade is having a historic sheriff election. We have not had a sheriff in 66 years, has it been, I believe. 66 years, we have not seen a sheriff. Responsibilities have fallen, for the sheriff department have fallen under the county mayors. So it's a historic election and one that's jam packed. I think we've got something like 17 candidates in this race. So we want to make sure that we highlight some of those candidates for you, bring attention. And Roman was the first one in the race. And thank you so much for being here today and making the time to talk to us.
No, Bella, thank you, and Linda, and mostly peaceful Latinas. That we definitely need the powerhouse in this county and everywhere else, because we have to go full force. Make sure that everybody goes out, like Bella said, is go out and vote. It's very important to get an 11% turnout at this point. Is sad, but I understand why. But we definitely, for everybody, or every viewer out there that's watching, you have to say to yourself, am I happy with what I have today, with the legal service, the constitutional rights that I have? If that answer is no, if any of those questions you answered is no, I suggest go out there, we the people, get your voice and go out there and vote today, tomorrow, and definitely Tuesday, August 20th.
Roman, tell us a little bit about you. What's your background? What makes you qualified for the sheriff? And really, what was your inspiration for getting into this race?
Man, Bella, it all started with my birth. My mom and dad were public servants, and when I was born and they pricked my little foot, I bled red. So I knew that Republican is where I'm going, and that's the values that they taught me of public servant, working for others, integrity. It started at an early age. At the age of 14, I was already serving the community here in Miami-Dade County. At 14 years old, I had a uniform on, telling the grown-ups how to act and what to do, and how, and follow the law, follow the Constitution. And even my name, Ruamen De La Rua, everything is just falling in line, Bella. And I'm not just saying it because I'm running for candidacy of the sheriff's office. This is what I've been put on this earth to do for the better of the people of Miami-Dade County. And I'm the only one that's going to be able. So I have, going back to when I started, 14 years old, I became a public service aide at 18, a policeman at 20, worked the streets of Miami. And the issues we have today, which are what? Communities not being taken care of. Let me see. Oh, border patrol or open borders, back in the 80s. The quality of life, being proactive. Everything that I was instilled in back in the 80s is what is here today. I move, and this is why I say God, I'm all about faith, family, and the Constitution. God to me is very strong in my faith. Whatever religion everybody is more power to them. But for me to be here, I grew up in Hialeah. I graduated in 1982 in Hialeah, Miami Lakes. Go Trojans. La Ciudad de Progreso, makes me a tough guy. So I would have never thought I was going to leave Miami-Dade County. But what happens is, at that time in 1987, I moved to Marion County, Florida, which is a redneck country county, and especially back in the 80s. So there, I did my tenure, and I found out that there's a different culture between police culture and sheriff's culture. And I was there 26 years. I've risen through the ranks as a deputy, first class, second class, master, sergeant, lieutenant, district commander of just about everything. The juvenile services, the schools, canine, motors, patrol. Not only did I work patrol, but I worked the corrections bureau, the court services, the youth services. That's what we need here today. So 44 years later, I come back down to Miami-Dade County, and I'm the only candidate that knew. I'm a member of the Florida Sheriff's Association, and when the law was built, or when they passed it in law that everybody in Florida voted that every county, 67 counties, was going to have a constitutional office, the sheriff and everything else. I already knew that this is my purpose. This is why I have the education, the experience, my faith, my family. I'm no different than anybody. I'm a husband, son, father, grandfather. So that inspiration gave me the fire that I have. That's why you see me so adamant that, we're here to win it. And I hope that all your viewers see it, that we, the people, are going to make this happen. So when I come back down here, they passed it. But here in Miami-Dade County, even the candidates that are running now didn't want to be deputy sheriffs. They didn't want the sheriff. Nobody did. I was already in the running. I'm already setting myself up because I've helped other sheriffs become sheriffs. I knew what's coming. And then with that, the mayor, which, I feel that is a corrupt mayor that has her own agenda, and it's not the people's agenda, that she said the sheriff, which is the chief executive law enforcement, is going to have the court services. Well, I said, hold up. And it's not going to happen. The Florida Sheriff's Association is a tough organization. They filed a suit in Miami-Dade County. They lost the suit. They went through the House of Representatives in the state, and they passed a bill. In 2023, Bella, I was already running. I came out in 2022, which the media is corrupted in itself. And I love saying it because now I know the process. I've been in it, where I want to tell the people the truth. Transparency, accountability is what I stand for, forward thinking, and I'm the people's voice, people's sheriff. So I've already been in the race for 6 months, but nobody really covered me because they had other agendas. Well, our governor, our great governor, signed the bill. It came into law. Now everybody wants to run for sheriff. Everybody, even the mayor, sheriff, put your eggs in one basket. The guy has mental health issues, but yet he's part of this transition team, which they're talking about mental health, Bella. They're not doing mental health. That guy should be mentally health, being taken care of for more than 6 months, and then put him back in the hot seat. How is that good that the mayor's thinking about mental health, or the directors are thinking about mental health? It doesn't make sense to me. And then you have everybody else. And then all the forums I've been to, I'm the only one that's spoken about deputizing our citizens. I don't need enough. If we don't have enough deputies, I'm going to deputize our citizens. The citizens of Miami-Dade County, are tired of the crime rising and the lawlessness. I mean, that's one given fact that we hate that. But yet, all the candidates have been for 40 years in this police culture and haven't done anything. So we're tired, and that's one of my owns that, among other stuff, that gets my, as they say in Ocala, it gets my goat going.
Roman, kind of like looking at and you touched a little bit on it, but I'd like to have you elaborate a little bit. Looking at Miami-Dade and the historic presence that this position will now have, what are some of the biggest needs that you identify, or issues that need to be addressed by the sheriff's department day one?
Well, the sheriff's office is an independent constitutional office. I'm the only one that speaks about the Constitution. And, the First Amendment does not have just one amendment. It's a one amendment, but it has 5 components. Half of these candidates don't even know what they are. They don't even know what the Second Amendment is. They don't even know what the Third Amendment is. Those amendments are here for a reason. Not only the country's United States Constitution, but the state of Florida. And we have to have somebody strong, a strong leader to represent and make sure that those are not deviated from, which Miami-Dade County is all about, deviation and a knee-jerk reaction type of leadership. So with that said, is the community first approach. Everybody's been crying about the community is there's a distance between law enforcement and the community. Well, hell yeah, there is, and none of them have fixed it. So I plan on changing it and calling it the citizens first approach, or the community's first approach, where we actually have our deputies, and I've always been saying deputies. I've never said police officer. All these other candidates don't know what they're talking about. I'm talking about deputies, sheriffs getting out there and doing more for citizens, meaning responding to call on time, doing an extra duty to make sure that they're taken care of, to have an open door policy where they can call them and they can reach out to them before any criminal activity, and for our leaders to know what the issues are before they happen is what I'm bringing with the community first approach, which is well needed, as you know. Secure the borders. Listen, this administration has done an awful job on having open borders. Listen, I'm an immigrant myself, and I came back in 1966 here with my parents the legal way. And the United States is number one on taking care of people that want to stay here and work and become somebody. But I cannot stand for those that are coming over the border illegally, creating criminal activity in this county. So even though it's not a country, world, or I mean, the U.S. borders, it's a local border that I want to enforce by putting more boots on the ground on our county line, not only land but sea and air. Listen, we need to get that the helicopter up on its time and go out there and proactively search for people coming into our county, through the waterways. We get a lot of waterway entries, whether it's drugs, whether it's humans. And damn right, I'm going to help President Trump when he opens up and needs aid from our local leaders to help with the borders. With the illegal immigrants. I'm 100% on board. Bringing back the quality of life. How many, I got children, Bella, and I know a lot of viewers do, but when is the last time you can actually go to a park or to the movies or to school and feel safe? We haven't, we don't have that. Being in charge of a school system in Marion County, I'm bringing it down here to where we're putting more deputies in the school system, and not the metal detectors that we're teaching now our kids, that when you get born and you go through the school system, we're actually teaching you, just in case you get arrested, you'll know what the prison system feels like. And
Great point.
I'm on fire. I don't want my son to be wanted or go through a metal detector. That's the sheriff's job, to make sure that our schools are safe. And by putting electronic equipment in schools is not one of them. We need to have happy times, which is quality of life.
Right.
On going to the look at you. You can't even have a soccer tournament here in Miami-Dade County because they're unprepared. The leadership here is unequipped.
It was disastrous. And you bring up a very good point. That was an embarrassment at the world stage.
It is, and I want the viewers to see that those are the people that are candidates that already have the system, and look what awful job they did. We thank God nobody got killed, but yet I don't think people should have gotten arrested. I think it should have been on the leaders of the law enforcement to adequately have that covered. We all go through these schools, and then one of them is done by the federal government. It's called the ICS program, Incident Command System, that everybody, and it's a system that we are taught to handle something, a small event, to a critical event. And if they're all what they say they are, they dropped the ball. The mayor dropped the ball. Jim dropped the ball. The director, Daniels, dropped the ball. Everybody dropped the ball. And that's the quality of life. And then the last thing is to provide proactive police or law enforcement to this county. Listen, the bad guys need to know that they need to move because I'm not tolerating it. And I'm holding State Attorney Rendell, excuse me, accountable to make sure that she has the right prosecutors in place and make sure that she has enough prosecutors in place to file the charges and go all the way to trial and convict them. And I'm talking about felonies, forcible felonies. I'm not talking about smoking weed. I'm not talking about medical marijuana, which, listen, when in 2024, the less minor crimes that I need to deal with, better for us. Nobody speaks about this, Bella. You know, um, I know we only have 4 days, but like I said, we had 20 months of passing my message, and I have not changed once. I've been shunned by the media because I haven't made over $150,000 in my campaign. Well, guess what, people? The grassroots people brought $60,000 to our campaign where I never thought that was going to be done. And that it hasn't stopped me. I've been involved in a crash. Uh, Nothing has put me down, and the only reason, so when you ask is why I'm doing this, is for the people. I know that this is the right time, the right place, and the right year to overcome, or as an underdog, is to come and win on August 20th, the primaries, to move over to the general on November 5th.
I love that. Roman, I want to give you an opportunity again. The goal that we have with these interviews is really, they're not long interviews, but what we're hoping is to give people just enough information so that they don't go to the voting booth uninformed. We think that an educated voter is so important. And we also want to encourage people to go out and vote. An 11% turnout rate right now, just a few days before polls close, is abysmal. It's embarrassing, and we can't wonder why our country is lost after that. So I just want to give you a few minutes to kind of talk to people on why it's important, for them to get out to the polls between now and Sunday and early voting, or to make whatever it takes to get to the polls on Tuesday and vote on August 20th. But also, more importantly, why it is that they should go out and vote for you and not one of the other 17 candidates that are going to be on that ballot when they go vote for sheriff.
Well, um, I hope from what they've heard has changed their mind, and we'll see August 20th. But when it comes to voting, this is historic for our county, for our people, for our future, for our kids, to make sure you put the right person in that office. And these are constitutional offices that have been withheld from the people for over 40 or 4 decades, is because the powers of this government, they don't want to lose their power. And that's where it goes wrong. And that's where I hope that everybody is listening and listens to what I'm saying about we, the people, have the strength. You can look up in the verse, the Gideon, uh, that speaks volumes. That's what I'm saying. It's that we have to show that this means something, and we have to show the politicians, the corrupt, crooked politicians, dirty, dark money people, special interest groups, that we're tired of it, and we have to go out and vote. And this is where it makes a difference. Instead of sitting on the couch and saying, my vote's not going to count, I'm just going to let somebody else. No, I'm telling you, and I'm asking, and I'm begging for you all to go out and vote. It's very important, and I pray that you vote ballot 53 and show these politicians and everybody else that's running that the people have chosen their sheriff.
Thank you so much, Roman. We appreciate you taking the time to come talk to our audience so much. That everything that you're doing. We wish you and your campaign so much luck now, as the polls start getting to a close and, the election day on August 20th. And we hope to get an opportunity to connect with you on the other side of this. Wishing you so much luck.
Amen. Thank you so much. And anybody want to see me, I'll be at the precincts DM me, and I'll go out there personally and meet everybody. But go out and vote. And if you need a ride, call me. I'll make it happen.
I love you for offering that. All right, guys, you heard it straight from Ruamen De La Rua. If you need a ride, you DM that man on Instagram. Please, guys, get out to the polls. We've got this whole weekend for you to get out there. And then you know that August 20th is election day. Avoid the lines. Get there as soon as you can. Let's bring up that 11%. Let's not go out without a fight. Let's not end 2024 primary elections with the lowest turnout rate that we've had in our elections. Roman, thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Miss
have a
Bella. Linda, if you're listening, thank you. Peaceful Latinas forever.
thank you.